Please like, share, subscribe.
For 25 years, we've walked side by side, brothers forged in the Marine Corps. And when the call came, we chose to walk with God. This is our journey. Welcome to the Not of This World Podcast.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Not of This World Podcast. I'm your host, Josh, here with my buddy, Steve.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
So we're a show, Not of This World Podcast, where we like to look at clips of what's going on in the world, whether it be news or, opinion clips, whatever we find interesting. And we like to use our experience as former Marines, as entrepreneurs, as devout Christians, and give our take on everything that we're seeing of what is going on in the world and why we remain not of this world.
I think it's interesting that how this all got started, and I don't know if you remember it the same way I do. My recollection of this all with you was, and I've shared this on the podcast before, you and I were sitting down and you were grilling on your grill, and I started asking you about the Epstein files, and you're like, oh yeah, I know about that. And I'm like, I'm outraged. I'm like, I cannot believe this guy was like, I could not believe our American judicial system would let this happen. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. And you're like, you want to see some craziness? Check out this documentary called Follow the Cabal. That's what we're getting into next. We just did the telepathy tapes at a kind of a distance that we talked about it. You checked it out a little bit. And one of the first things I showed you was the person who made them, right?
Yeah.
And I think that going forward, when we're bringing content to other people, I've started to try and do that a little bit more. Find out who I'm getting content from, and if it's good content for like a strong Christian perspective, I want to hear that that's their perspective as well. So I did a little deep dive and made a video for us about the background of who the creator of the Fall of the Cabal was. When you're ready, I want to show the audience this clip. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I ended my 10-part documentary about the fall of the Cabal with a promise. A promise to dive deeper into the story behind the darkness in this world we live in. What happened? How did we get to this point? Who is the Cabal? And what is their exact agenda? Are you ready to go further down the rabbit hole? Well, fasten your seatbelts, for this is going to be one heck of a ride.
Janet Ossebaard was a Dutch author, filmmaker, and researcher born in 1966 in Deventer, Netherlands. She studied at Groningen University and founded a training and consulting company called Ossebaard and Jansen at age 24, which she sold after a decade to pursue full-time research into crop circles. Ossebaard became known in esoteric circles as a cereologist, a crop circle expert, serving as a board member of the Dutch Center for Crop Circle Studies, authoring several books on the topic, such as Crop Circles, The Evidence, and Crop Circles, The Most Enchanting Ever, organizing tours in England and operating a small museum in Deventer. She co-produced 4 documentaries on crop circles, one of which received an EBE award at the Laughlin, Nevada Film Festival. Later in her career, around 2019, she shifted focus to conspiracy theories, collaborating with Cynthia Cater on projects that delved into global cabals, elite control, and related narratives. Ossebaard died by suicide in November 2023 at age 57, with her body discovered in Lund, Sweden, after she had been reported missing. She had openly discussed personal childhood traumas in her blogs leading up to her death. The Fall of the Cabal is a multi-part documentary series created by Janet Ossebaard, often in collaboration with Cynthia Cater, released starting around 2020. The original series consists of 10 episodes running nearly 3 hours in total and promotes conspiracy theories aligned with QAnon, asserting that a secretive global elite, referred to as the Cabal or the 1%, controls world events through excessive wealth and power. It claims this group, including prominent politicians, Hollywood figures, and international bankers, engages in child abuse, satanic rituals, and the extraction of a blood-derived chemical, adrenochrome, for anti-aging purposes, while suppressing truths through media control. The series suggests that a coalition of government insiders, including then-President Donald Trump, was working to dismantle this cabal. A sequel series, the sequel to The Fall of the Cabal, expands on these themes across additional parts, up to 28 episodes in total across both, covering topics like central banking, one world government, and connections to current events. The content has been described as steeped in far-right, isolationist, and anti-Semitic tropes, drawing from influences like Eustace Mullins and Lyndon LaRouche. The series gained significant online traction, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic, with millions of views on platforms like YouTube before facing removals for misinformation. It has been cited in cases of personal radicalization, such as in an NPR story about a woman's overnight shift in beliefs after binge watching, leading to relationship breakdowns. Critics and debunkers have produced counter content, including a 2020 YouTube documentary fact-checking its claims, arguing that they rely on biased sources, logical fallacies, and unverified assertions. Supporters, however, view it as an eye-opening expose on hidden power structures, with discussions on platforms like Facebook and Reddit praising its role in waking people up to alleged manipulations. Following Ossebaard's death, some online communities speculated about foul play, though official reports confirmed suicide. The videos remain available on alternative platforms and the official fallcabal.com site, where Cater continues related work.
All right, Josh, first question. What'd you think about the narration on that video? Was it any good?
That was probably the best narration I've ever heard.
I agree. That's a very good answer to say. This is my wife.
Oh, well, I didn't know that at all.
I thought she did a great job. That's one of the first videos
really
we've
did.
shown of making our own content. I was like, we've been talking about trying to make our own videos instead of using other people's stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. It was fun doing that with my wife. But one of my biggest takeaways is I had no clue the person or one of the co-people that made the Fall of the Cabal, she passed away.
The co-person who made it?
Yeah, there's two people that do it. We'll hear on the. I have another video to show you. Her name starts with I don't remember. We'll see it on the video.
Okay.
But I just was like, she's passed on. They said she committed suicide. Yeah. And I just thought that was very suspicious because the Fall of the Cabal, I'm going to share this on my screen as we talk. I was going to start doing a video about sharing with you all the things in the Fall of the Cabal, but I'm like, dude, there is way too much stuff to even get into. Like, you want to talk about conspiracy theories? Like, I got it all here. Now I'm just going to scroll down here, but this is all the things it goes through.
Okay, let's read through these really quick. Go up. Global elite cabal controlling world events, wealth and power concentration in the 1%, child sexual abuse and trafficking networks, satanic rituals and human sacrifices, adrenochrome harvesting from tortured children, media manipulation, fake news, QAnon as a truth-feeling movement, Donald Trump as a hero fighting the cabal, central banking conspiracies, one world government agendas, false flag operations, chemtrails, vaccines, organ harvesting, WikiLeaks, subliminal satanic messaging, reptilian symbols and Vatican architecture, Rothschild family, government influence, mass migrations, injury and alien invasion, increased crime and no-go zones for migration, GMOs, Hollywood and political, Pizzagate and code words, Epstein's Island, Clinton Foundation, Bumming Grove, elite art. Man, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, if I couldn't get all this in one video with me and you if I wanted to. But if you think about it,
I mean, I haven't watched it in years now. Fall of the Cabal covered all of this?
It's Fall of the Cabal and Fall of the Cabal 2.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't remember it covering all of this stuff, but that is insane.
But to your point, though, bro, like, the thing is that you shared that with me, and that was got to be 2019 or 2020, before COVID, and just the Epstein files had me outraged. And the end of the first video, they talk about some of the Pizzagate stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And I just remember thinking, like, I can't share this with anybody, or I'm gonna look like I'm crazy.
Yep, I was very, very careful of who I showed it to back then.
Right, but the crazy thing is, I think back to the video we watched, the second video of that girl crying, and she wasn't crying on tape, but you can just tell she's just like, she's normally done up like she's a makeup artist, so her
Yeah,
makeup
of
is
course.
always
I
on point.
saw her little like photo, her thumbnail. You could
Yeah,
tell,
she's usually done up. She's a very pretty girl, but just and I don't have an emotional attachment to her as a YouTuber, like where I've watched a bunch of her videos and I like, my heart. I just saw someone hurting,
Yeah.
and I just keep on thinking about these people who didn't watch a video like that for us to be. I don't think we're numb. I just think it's like God was preparing us. That's what I think.
Well, I think God used it for me. It was part of the stepping stones that brought me back to him.
Agreed.
Hearing all of that, like I've said so many times on this podcast, it was the evil in the world that brought me back to God, because I could not wrap my head around everything going on, and I could see straight through it all.
Yeah.
I could see that there were so many psyops. I could see that stuff was set up. I could see, even before I watched Fall of the Cabal, I already had these thoughts on a lot of these things, and I watch it and it confirmed a lot of stuff. And just so I don't sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist, when I watch stuff like that, I don't just fully believe it all.
Right.
But I open my eyes that the possibility of all of these things are happening. And
Right.
when you open your eyes, then you actually start to see, okay, this part really is true. This part really is true. Because there's always going to be, something wrong. Like Fall of the Cabal, for instance, the whole like JFK being alive, right?
Mhm.
Even while I was watching it, I was like, I think she might have gone a little off the deep end with this part, And so it's being careful to use discernment while you're watching stuff like that. But there's definitely nothing wrong with opening your eyes to the possibility of all of these things happening.
And I don't think it's fair to judge everybody who might be I'm not saying you're judging anybody, just for clarification.
No.
I don't think it's fair to judge the people who might be shocked by all this because honestly,
for sure.
before the Epstein stuff that we talked about in the Fall of the Cabal, I was working a ton during that time. And the only news I would get as I'm walking in my restaurant from the kitchen to the restroom or kitchen to walk out food to somebody or whatever I was doing in the dining room, I'd look up and sometimes, and most of the news back then it's all anti-Trump because we had it on CNN. So I just thought like for the first 4 years of Trump being in office, he's been the worst president I've ever seen. That was my viewpoint. Like I didn't have any other thing to go off of. I'm just like, I talk to people who are into politics and they're like, don't believe that crap. I'm like, I don't know, man. I see on the news every single day how terrible he is. And so for me, it was like this, like everything just opened up all at once. And like, you're like, how can the people be voting these people in? And the truth is, at least that's my viewpoint now, is like, I think it's all corrupt. The entire system is just broken.
Me too. On that sheet, the one thing it said, and like Trump is the one who's the only person standing up to the cabal. I don't even know if I believe that. I don't know if they're all in on it, because it all could be a massive psyop. I really don't know. I'm not putting my I don't know. I'm not putting my belief in any of it anymore. My belief is in God, and that is it. That's the only thing I know that I fully believe and that I know to be true.
Yeah, I've heard Trump talk about God quite a few times, and I heard him talk about Jesus once, but he's never come right out and said like Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior, things like that. Or like even to the point, like it doesn't matter if he did or didn't. Like if you really believe in our country and our president, he still comes way farther down the line and people I'm going to give my time and my effort and my heart to. That he's really not that important.
Yeah,
I think some people have him a little bit higher than they should, and some people have him higher in God. Yeah, and that's the problem. It's a false idol.
Exactly, and that's one thing that always keeps me to shy away from him is he makes himself out to be a false idol, and that's not godly at all.
As we enter the year 2025, everything has changed. In just a few years' time, the world has become familiar with terms such as deep state, cabal, swamp, information warfare, and mis- and disinformation. People started to see that their governments were just puppets of something bigger, something beyond their comprehension, something dark and sinister. People started to doubt the good intentions of their governments as they saw how worldwide agendas, such as Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030, were rolled out, annihilating the farmers of the world, replacing real food with fake food. They saw how all kinds of technologies were forced upon them, annihilating any sense of privacy. Money was taken away, replaced with digital currency and digital IDs. Because of all of this and more, people started to wake up and see what a dystopian future our leaders had planned for us. Millions and millions of people worldwide watched the series. In the end, it's these people who made the world ready to truly wake up, to claim its sovereignty and choose another path to the future. But that path is yet to be taken. Right now, we are in a transition period, a period in between timelines. We still need to understand the real core, the roots of the Cabal. Because only when we really go to the bottom of the rabbit hole will we understand the full picture. And with that knowledge, we can leave the old structures behind. We can then focus on a new world, a new system, more evolved, truly equal and transparent, with respect for individual rights and privacies.
Well, I have to say that your wife was definitely a better narrator than this narrator. So.
That's the other creator of the Fall Cabal.
I know.
Okay. I appreciate it though, and so is my wife.
Yes.
I did think it was interesting how they're saying we're at a road, a split in the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I take it as like the secular road or the non-secular road. And I do think we are at a spiritual crossroads. I think that this world is splitting in half.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That was interesting. It made me think about when Jesus returns to earth and stands on the mountain and splits it in half. I don't know. I was trying to think about if there's a way to connect those two, and there's just not. So
we're leaving it in the video.
That's right.
No, I think of like everything has changed in my life so and in such a short amount of time. I think even just the COVID, for whatever it was, the experience all together, seeing people scared, seeing people not starting to trust each other, seeing how the masks, we're not wearing a mask, whether you got the vaccine, if you didn't get the vaccine, it just feels like our world got turned upside down. And like we both shared already, like we found our way back to Christ through it. And I don't know if, God does everything for a reason. There's a reason this has all been able to happen. And so, I think if not for anything else, God just was like, I'm going to use this for my good.
He uses everything for his good eventually, right?
Amen.
Until the actual final days when he pours out his wrath. Up until then, he uses everything for his good. And that's kind of the crossroads to me, how you said secular versus non-secular. To me, it's, are we at the end or are we not? Mm-hmm. And if we are not, then I believe that this path forward she's talking about has to happen. Because God will not allow this world to continue on the way that it's going unless it is the end.
Yeah.
And so,
and if it is the end, it's going to get worse.
Exactly. That's what I mean. So, if this is not the end, then things will get better because it's gone so far. God isn't going to continue to let his people suffer and suffer and suffer, right? And watch us all become mind-controlled nothings, robots walking around the earth. And so one of two things has to happen. To me, that's the crossroads that we're at right now.
Yeah. I had big plans for retirement and like living a life of like partying and like vacationing all the time. And like it just kind of got abruptly stopped like after COVID. And like I remember talking to my wife and she's like, I'm like, when things get back to normal, I kept on saying, when things get back to normal. And she one day just came to me, she's like, and I don't think she came up with this, but she was like, Normal isn't coming back, honey. Jesus is. And I wasn't really walking with Jesus the way I am now. And I just looked at her like, oh, why do you guys say something like that? Like, I'm like, we got all this money coming in. I'm doing all these things in life. Like, I don't want that to happen right now. And it's funny how just a little bit of time later, you're like, I can't wait for Jesus to come back. It's gonna be great.
Can't wait for it.
It's true though.
Oh, I know. I think looking at comments of videos and just the type of videos that are out there, there are tens, hundreds of millions of people that just cannot wait for that day to come. And that's what I mean by that crossroads. If this is not the end, God is going to work to make good of what is happening, because he will not leave everyone to just continue to suffer, because people are not happy in this world right now.
There was very minimal things you could find on YouTube about end times not that many years ago. Like I was looking up and down all over the place for just stuff I can learn or hear people talk about it, because I started sensing it a while back. Like it was after my wife probably made that comment, and reading the Bible and being like, I think I was watching America fall so fast, and the things that we used to be versus where we're at now. And I just like, how can this happen? How can we fall apart that quickly? And I just started seeing the Bible like we're not part of the end times talks.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, makes sense.
Yeah. And when you see exactly what that lady just said in her video, that 2030 global agenda, if all of these people in charge have been pushing towards this global agenda, then America has to be brought down a level, because they can't bring everyone else up a level.
All right, Josh, is there anything else you want to add to the end of this podcast before we get out of here?
I don't think so. Just appreciate anybody out there listening. We love you. Please like and subscribe so this gets out to more people. But yeah, we'll see you next podcast.
Yeah, see you guys. Love you guys. Stop recording.
Stop recording.